Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Matt with the Wise Buy Guy, and I am here with another video. This video is also going to be sponsored by Streamlight. If you guys recall, one of the last videos I did was a TLR6 for my P365. Streamlight has also gifted me their new Wedge flashlight. So I've been carrying this for about a week and a half now. So I want to do a little video for you guys, kind of give you some pros and cons for the Wedge and let you guys know where I'm going to fit it into my EDC. Couple of things just right off the get-go before we take a look at the light. Right out of the box, you do get a lanyard and a little Allen key. This is a 1/20th Allen key for those who are like me and may lose those. So you get your 1/20th Allen key and you get a little lanyard. You're supposed to just be able to hook right around their pocket clip and carry it like so. I will never use this, so I don't really care about the lanyard. However, if you do care about the lanyard, one thing that I found odd is I got the black light and the brown lanyard. I'm not sure why this doesn't match, but anyhow, those of you guys out there may care about that kind of thing. I don't. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Streamlight Wedge. Okay, so we're looking at the Streamlight Wedge right now. Now, this is in my opinion, a fantastic light for what I'm going to call covert EDC. So let's take a look at the Wedge. As you guys can see, it has a much slimmer, thin profile versus like my regular, this is a Phoenix PD35 tactical. I've been carrying this for years. I love it. So let's take a look at the Streamlight Wedge and see where I'm going to be using this, some pros and cons. So first thing that I really loved about this light is just the sleek, the slim. It has a much thinner profile than a normal flashlight. It reminds me a little bit about the Stiletto by Surefire as far as the shape. So you guys can see it significantly thinner. It is about a 1/2 inch in thickness, so got my little tape measure here. About a 1/2 inch in thickness, and it is from head to tail about 5.5 inches long. So if you're curious what a 1/2 inch in thickness might be like, that is going to be about the size of a box of AA batteries. So there you go, common household item that you can measure with. You're welcome. Okay, so the design of the Wedge is supposed to be able to be a deep concealed pocket clip, and I'll show you guys how I actually wear this. I'll give you some pocket shots, but it does have a very wonderful, nice, deep pocket clip versus what you normally get in a tactical light where you've got, you know, a good inch of your light sticking out of your pocket. And then what I did like, it has a couple of nuances, is their on-off switch. So in order to turn the light on, I typically prefer a tail switch. As you can see, this is a USB-C type charger for the tail switch, so no tail switch there. It does stand just fine on the butt end. So when you get the light, it does fit wonderfully in the hand. I mean, it's great, it's comfortable. It's like a little fidget toy for me. So the on is simply by pushing this button up, and we have a 300 lumen on. So you can see, fairly decent. And what made this light unique is their 1,000 lumen. They call it the throw. So if I go and I continue to click up and I hold, I now have a 1,000 lumen light. If I let go, it goes back to my 300. Now, for me, one of the things that I liked with this little switch is when I click it on, you guys might be able to see that little green. Let me turn off a light here. Okay, so if I turn this on, you guys can see my little green light indicator letting me know how charged my light is. And then you got your 1,000 for the throw. Now, here's the one thing I kind of wish it had. So when I first got the light, my first day or two playing with it, I loved it. Man, 300 lumens, nice, bright, 1,000 lumens if I need something, you know, extra. But what I quickly found is I actually did miss some of my less lumen outputs, especially if I was working on things close. For instance, this last Sunday I was working on a projector unit, and I needed to hold this in between my teeth. By the way, because of this more aggressive pocket clip, it is a little uncomfortable holding with your mouth, just as an FYI. But as I'm holding it between my teeth with the 300 lumen, it actually kind of over flooded the little space I was working with. So one of the things that I had kind of wished maybe in a version 2.0 might be on here is incremental clicks. So in other words, if I went here, well, if I went here, maybe that'd be like 5 lumen, and then it could click over to 300 lumen. And I do kind of wish the 1000 lumen also clicked on in a hold. I get why you wouldn't have that, so that it doesn't stay on there and, you know, drain your battery. But it would be nice if there was, you know, maybe 2 or 3 low, medium, super high features on the light. Not a deal breaker for me. So again, I've really, really loved this light. It is waterproof. The end is not bezeled, so I would not use this for breaking windshields like I would. Well, that one's not bezeled either. I've got one lying around that does have a bezeled end. Let's see. There we go. That one has a little bit more aggressive bezeling, used for maybe a self-defense or, like, again, breaking a window. This one, as you can see, does not. But when you're comparing it to a smaller light, so this is a Phoenix LD12. Again, we can see it's not too much thicker, and it's just a little bit longer. It would have been nice if maybe they were able to get rid of a, I don't know, an inch, a half an inch off the light. But again, not a big deal for me. What might be a big deal for some of you, because it is a USB-C charger, there is no way of taking this out and swapping batteries. I do not even know what kind of battery this uses, but it is sealed in the case, so it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. The more lights I buy that use USB-C chargers, the more I am okay with not having to take extra batteries. But it's a fantastic light. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this might look like inside a house and outside a house. We'll go to my backyard first, and then I'll kind of show you guys its throw pattern. Okay, before we go outside and look at the throw pattern, I did want to show you guys how this rides in the pocket. So forgive the crotch shot, but it is the best and easiest way to show you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in my front forward pocket so you can see, I mean, that really just swallows it up. There's no problems there. And what I do like about it being a more deep conceal, I don't normally keep a light in my front pocket because every time I put my hand in, I was always catching my pinky finger. So if I were to have my Phoenix light front pocket carry going in, it's always catching right here, and it was really uncomfortable. I never really liked it. So this light, I mean, that just goes in, disappears, no problem. Now, where I have been carrying this is I've actually been carrying this in the inside of my pants between my belt loop and my boxers. So let's see if I can get this in here. Oh, this might be the wrong pair of shorts. It's got a little spandex thing here because weight, you know. Okay, so here's where I've actually been carrying it. So my job, I have an office job. It does look odd for me to be walking around with a big tactical flashlight. Normally it's in my back pocket. But what I do like with that kind of a deep conceal clip is I can just tuck it right there if I was wearing a pair of slacks, maybe somewhere a little bit more covert. And between my belt and the size of the pocket clip, you guys can see, you can barely even tell I've got that on. This is fantastic, and this is how I've carried it for about the last week. It did take me a little bit to figure out the pocket clip is reversible. So I did have to play with, do I want the light this way or do I want the light this way? You guys can see here, it's just got these 2 little screws. You just take those out without Allen wrench and you can swap it around. What I ended up deciding is I'm carrying in a more covert fashion is I wanted the light to where I could go and I could reach in like so and spin it around and then hit my on. So I'm grabbing it like so, pulling out and then spinning around, whereas the other way I'd have to, like, it was just awkward. So that is where I think this light is going to shine, pardon the dad joke. I think as a covert tactical light where you still want to have a light on you, you still want something that hits that 300,000 lumen. For me, 1,000 lumen is kind of like my minimum. I want a light that is just blinding brilliant, but I don't want something big and bulky. And I feel like by being able to just fit right underneath my belt, again, if I wanted to, I could put it in my front pocket. It is pretty nondescript there. I could put it in my back pocket. If I'm wearing more, we'll call it tactical clothing, well, I'll get this belt pack out of the way. Let's go on to this pocket. There we go. I've got the hip pocket, and then I've got the regular back pocket. So if I just slide that in there, it does hit the bottom of my pocket, which I don't care for. Again, that's where I wish they just lost a ½ inch, maybe an inch. So on the back pocket, I actually have it where it just sticks up just a hair. Again, barely notable. If I go in the other back pocket, same thing gonna happen. It just sticks up just a hair. Again, barely any there, but still kind of annoying because the light is so long. It doesn't conceal well in a back pocket. It conceals perfectly fine in a pair of front pockets, but not in the back pocket. So that's where I'm just gonna tuck it right in here, and nobody sees and nobody knows. It's fantastic. So great for people, again, formal wear, office work, something that you want a little bit more of a covert light. I think it's fantastic. So let's go ahead and take it outside, see what it looks like. I'm going to compare it with a couple of other lights so you guys can see what kind of a beam pattern it throws. Okay, so here's the outside test. The first light is going to be the Phoenix PD35 at 1,000 lumen. I'm going to shoot it about 35 feet. So we can see has a pretty decent throw. A little bit of a hot spot right here, but I mean, whole backyard easily seen. And then there's a tree about 125 feet that you can see pretty clearly. So this is the 1,000 lumen on the Phoenix light. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look at the Streamlight. So first we're going to throw it at the 300 lumen. So 300 lumen, you can see, doesn't have much of a hot spot. It's got a pretty wide, more of a flood beam. And then let's go ahead to 1,000 lumens. So you can see the difference here. So we've got the Phoenix over here, the Streamlight over here. So again, this one has a much more focused target throw. So I'm not getting quite as far on that Streamlight. Phoenix definitely pushes right because of that throw. And then let's compare a Streamlight with a Streamlight. So this is the 1,000 lumen light on my TLR. About blinded myself there. Okay, so again, you can see same thing here. 1,000 lumen, 1,000 lumen. So this definitely doesn't have a hot spot. It just gives a nice flood. Again, the 300 lumen here, we can see this fence. So again, I mean, that's definitely doing its job, lighting up the backyard here. 1,000 lumens. So again, 35 feet. That's fantastic. Let's go see what it looks like inside. Okay, so we're inside here. Here's a 300 lumen. Again, you can see everything fantastically. 1,000 lumen. So that's in a room. So that's your Streamlight. Here's your Phoenix. So again, inside, when you're having a shorter distance, again, this is probably about 20 feet with walls. So the Phoenix, you definitely get that hotspot blur right here, which again isn't a problem. But when you look at even the 300 lumen on the Streamlight, does a fantastic job. 1,000 lumen on the Streamlight, that's great for inside. Okay, so Gives you a little bit idea of how bright it is in the dark. It also gives you a little bit of idea of that throw pattern. I do like the fact that it has a much wider beam. It doesn't really have that hot spot in the center. I think it's blinding bright, you guys. So at the end of the day, again, Streamlight gifted this to me. I did not buy this. I do feel the retail price is about 80 to 100 bucks depending on where you're looking at it online. I wouldn't mind having maybe spent 80 bucks on it. 100 bucks, because it doesn't have more than 2 modes, and because it's just a little bit big, I probably would be like, 100 bucks, I'm not sure I'm worth it. 80 bucks, if I was in a setting where a more common tactical light was more frowned upon or more visible, stood out, I'd for sure spend 80 bucks. I kind of wish it was more down in like the 60, 70 range. When I was looking at the Stiletto by Surefire, they're anywhere from like 100 bucks to 200 bucks depending on the model. So it is competitive for the kind of light. Again, the more slim pencil version, it is extraordinarily comfortable and fun to hold. If you like the kind of the, oh, I am mind blanking right now, you guys, you know, the grippy texture. If you like that on a light, you are not going to like this. It is slick. There's no problem with the grip though. I mean, how the finger grooves here hold in the hand, it is fun. I will sit there and I'll watch a movie and I'll just play on, off, because it's fun. I like the pocket clip. Again, I wish it wasn't so aggressive in how far up it comes, because it did make it a little uncomfortable for holding in your mouth. Again, I know it's what it's not designed for, but I'm always doing something with my hands and you just got to go, or get it done. And just a little uncomfortable. Again, doable, but not as amazingly comfortable as I would have hoped. So I'm going to give this one a thumbs up. I think Streamlight did a great job with this little light. Again though, if rechargeable batteries are a deal breaker for you, it's only a USB-C. You cannot take this apart and put your own batteries in. So for some guys, that's going to be a deal breaker. If you like a thumb switch, not going to have a thumb switch, so that might be a deal breaker. And the length, again, man, if it could just be just a little bit smaller, I think that'd be great. It does have, like you guys saw in the back pocket, it does have an issue with the length fitting well in a back pocket. Fits great in a front pocket. My front pocket's already full. I've got keys in one, phone in the other, and I'm not really looking forward to adding this to a front pocket setup. But I do think how I've been carrying at work, in the pants, between the belt loop, I think is fantastic. So I'm going to use this as my covert light. Places I go that I don't want my light to stand out, this is definitely going to be my EDC. I don't know if it's going to be my EDC every single day. I still like having something where if I'm not in my workplace setting, I like having something with a thumb on off, and I do like something that has a little bit more options as far as how many levels of brightness, what's my lumen output. So for work, formal wear, I'm gonna just swap my lights out. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Again, I really appreciate Streamlight for sending this to me. It's a fantastic light, you guys. Just know those couple of things. If those are deal breakers, you probably want to go look for something else. For me, I am definitely going to add this to the arsenal of flashlights, and hope my wife doesn't find them. Okay, guys, until next time, hopefully this video helps you make a wise buy.